Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, before I talk about the meaning behind the art that I want to talk about, let me introduce the landscape so that we get an idea of the mystery behind today's topic. Today, I want to travel back in time between 500 BC and 580. That's 1,000 years of span. And we are going to the southern Peru, to the Nazca Lines, to the desert, the area where there is hardly any wind, the area is all laden with rock, and the art that was discovered between the towns of Nazca and Palpa, the most interesting art that one can rack one's brain and wonder for thousands of years from today, and we've been wondering for thousands of years before as well. Why is this? Why is the art in this desert so mysterious? We all know about the Nazca Lines. They are these gigantic figures, these um, uh, gigantic, I would call it artwork, that can be seen only from high vantage, from way up in the air. You cannot see it from the ground. So, why do I want to talk about this today? Because it's art, obviously, but also I would like to try to understand the uh, making of it, the reason behind making of it, the purpose of making that kind of art. So all these questions were going on in my mind when I was reading about the Nazca Lines. It was a mystery in my mind for years, since many years, since maybe even a decade ago. And I used to always wonder and I used to be fascinated. But of course, I didn't pay attention to it. I just accepted it as, yes, it's one of the mysteries of the world. But today, since I'm on this channel, I wanted to discuss it. Why not? Um, if you look at the figures, if you look at the photographs that exist on all over social media, on all over the internet, you will see that there are so many different figures. Number one, this place is a desert. It is it is just rocky. It is one of the driest places on the planet that we know of today. And then you have these figures. They are all types of figures. There's a monkey with a spiral tail. There's a whale. There's so many geometric figures, and they are not. They stretch. They stretch for hundreds of meters, and the entire artwork is stretched over miles. So, what were the people of Nazca thinking when they were making these figures? Forget what they were thinking. How did they even make this? How did they make the impossible possible? It's the $1 million question. In that time, there were no machines, they didn't have drones, they didn't have satellite visions or technology or computers to look at what's happening. They just had people, they had an idea, and they had motivation to execute something that they were driven to execute, I would say. So, what, like the technique that is, it said, is that they remove the darker soil and the pebbles and the darker surface material to expose the lighter soil and the lighter ground material in order to make this artwork, in order to make these figures. Some are like extremely straight. They may have used strings and ropes to make these straight lines, to make these geometric figures, whatever they used really. But they created all these figures. What struck me was, in a desert, they have created a figure of a whale. How do these people know what a whale is? There's no ocean. I doubt if anybody's gone to the coldest parts of the ocean to see what a whale is. Yet, there's a figure of the whale. There's a figure of a monkey with a spiral tail. There are Yeah, scorpions, I don't know. There are so many others. You can find information on that all over the internet. So the mystery is, here is a bunch of people, a community, and they have made figures, artwork that is so mysterious, also that can one cannot see while standing on the ground. You have to be at an elevation to see the entire figure as one. So, how did they get this precision? Who was the intelligent uh, artist behind this idea, and who was the architect who orchestrated this kind of a site? So, these are the mysteries of the world. What were they drawing this for? What was the purpose? To be seen by who? Because the community lived on the land. What were they looking at? Yes, there are theories that it could be they made these for the purpose of irrigation, for the water to flow, or maybe they had land and it needed to flourish. Either ways, in those days they would make straight lines, and there was no mystery to it. But these have figures. So what were they like? We make cookies with figures. Were they trying to cultivate agriculture in the shape of figures? Maybe they were that creative. Why not? Why not? It is possible. It's possible to think of that. So that's a bunch of creative people. If it is not this, and the idea was for these figures to be seen from above, way above, who were they trying to show it to? Did they know of, did they know something more than we know today? That was the question I was thinking. Did they know something about the spiritual realms? Did they know something about the higher dimensions? I always speak in my videos about art and sites being created. Communities were highly evolved in spirituality, and that kind of a soul's purpose. So I thought of that in this information too when I was reading about it. I said, yes, why is it not possible? Maybe they did have that kind of connection between the different realms of the universe. Maybe somebody in that community was highly spiritual, and that was the person who who probably had a vision, or who probably had an inkling that we need to create this for a higher purpose. So it could be because of that they created. Then this, I'm not saying this is one person who lived for 70 years and died. This is something that spanned over 1,000 years. So this was generational. So if this wise one lived for a lifespan and carried forward the legacy to the next generation, and the next and the next, and over thousands of years, over 1,000 years, this monumental site was created, which exists even till today, might exist for thousands of years from now as well. So this this is a and this something like this, I cannot I the mystery to me is that this is the only site that exists with this kind of artwork. So I was overwhelmed, because in most of what I read, I try to connect that the existence of art in a similar timeline all over the planet, and I try to link all of that. But in this, I didn't know what to link it, so I thought of, if not this way, we go that way, and that is what I I wanted to talk about today. So, if it was a higher purpose, if it was to be visible to, we don't know who is out there, or is it somebody out there who came down and guided this guided to create this kind of artwork? Then yes, this this is a very good mystery that needs to be solved, and I thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to share that today. So if you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel, stay connected with me, and we can uncover a lot of other mysteries of art from the past, and try and connect it to our evolution. And uh, and it's interesting. I can just thank you for staying with me on this journey with my art, and let's see where this journey goes. So see you in the next video.